Hello and welcome back to your art class. Today we are in a slightly different position, I know. It is midweek. I'm feeling tired, so I've got my coffee and I'm hoping that today's drawing is going to pep me up a little bit. It's a really straightforward drawing today, like simple as, and you can really do your own thing. I mean, as always, but really today you've got to use a bit of your imagination because I don't have it in me. Maybe when I start drawing it will all come flooding in, but it doesn't feel like it today somehow. But it's still going to be a nice enjoyable time. So it's probably going to be ugly, which I'm here for, to be honest, today. So get your pens, get your paper and your colouring agents, whatever you use. I've got my fine liner and my watercolours as always. Get your coffee or your drink and let's get going for today. All right, everyone. Got my pen, I've got my fresh block of watercolour paper, pretty exciting, went to the art shop today. And today, like I said, we're going to do a really simple design, but I'm going to do something which I have been doing in my workshops, which I actually have been really enjoying. I'm going to start by drawing a border. I mean, like really random rubbish, not at all even. If you want to take your time and make this really neat, that can also look nice. But I just did that. If I could redo this, yes, that annoys me, but hey, we live and learn. All right, now I have my border and I am going to draw my first line, which is basically a mountain that kind of comes straight down, and if anything it comes down towards this way, like around almost, but it's not a semicircle, it is meant to be kind of up and down. Then I'm going to draw a line that comes from this corner and kind of just comes up like this, so that imagining this shape is carrying on straight, this is kind of the same size, so maybe like 2 fingers width coming straight down like that, but it doesn't really matter too much. Okay, now we're going to draw an L shape coming from here. Sorry, that's a lie. A backwards L shape. So just a straight line here, and you can kind of do this different size, maybe have a look at what it's going to be and then decide. Okay, so I have my L shape. And then I'm going to draw 2 little kind of wisp marks, one here and one here. So I'm going to start about a finger's width from here, maybe a little bit less. And I'm kind of mirroring this shape here. If anything, it goes down. I mean, for me, it doesn't really matter. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing, but just a little bit smaller. So again, maybe like a half of the distance that we've done here away, but on the same level. And kind of a little wisp like that. And it's a little bit smaller. Can you tell what it's going to be? Well, if I add now a circle on this side of it, you can tell that it's suddenly a face, suddenly an eye. And I'm going to do the same on this side. You can add your circles or not have circles and change your eye however you want. So however you want to draw it is up to you. I've got the subject looking directly at the camera, or at the viewer. I mean, it is looking at the camera right now. And then you can decorate it however you want, change the shape of the eye or just do little dots or whatever. But that's kind of an easy way to get started with a face. Now I just need to frame the face. So I'm going to add an ear around here, So kind of in line with the eye is where I'm going to start it. Maybe like 1 and a bit fingers width to the side. This might look rubbish, I'm not sure. I'm just going to go for it and do a little ear shape like that. Thinking, yeah, that's quite a big ear for this face, but that's fine. We like big ears. And then I'm going to think about the forehead would be around there, because remember, like the when you're drawing a face, and I'm not an expert for sure, but usually the eye line is about halfway down the face. So I'm imagining where the lips would be and then where the chin would be. And then I think, okay, well, the forehead's probably going to be about here, or at least the hairline. And then I'm just going to draw a kind of curved shape. But you can definitely play with this. This isn't the shape of the head. This is the shape of the hairline that I'm doing. So then I'm going to bring the hair around and I'm going to mimic the wavy, see, I didn't even know I was going to do this, mimicking the wavy border with the wavy hair. Now, it kind of looks kind of cool right now. It looks a little bit abstract. Still looks a bit creepy because there's no eyebrows. Eyebrows are quite important, I find, when drawing faces to stop it from looking creepy. So again, I'm just going to go in. Feel free to do what you want. I'm going to do the on-trend kind of big, like perfectly defined, bushy eyebrows that I wish I had. I just have old man scraggly eyebrows, unfortunately. I went to get my nails done when I was in Spain on my honeymoon, and the woman literally wrote in her Google Translate, "Would you like me to also do your eyebrows?" As I was getting my nails done. And I was like, no, I'm fine, thank you. Because I've never had my eyebrows done, I don't really know what it means. But anyway, so now I'm going to connect this hairline to the sideburns. We love a bit of a sideburn, so I'm going to, well, draw the sideburn first and then bring it up here like that. But again, you could do whatever hairstyle you want. You could turn it into someone with no hair or someone with a hat or something like that, but I'm just going to keep it really simple today because I feel like today's been a bit of a day and I want to just relax and not worry too much. I know I've said that a few times. Okay, and then I'm going to draw the back of the head. So remember, this is the ear, and the back of the head is going to be a bit bigger than this bit of the head because she's kind of turning around, or they're kind of turning to face us. So the head is going to be quite big, I think. So let's just see. Again, you could draw this in pencil first. And the thing is, when you're drawing hair, is you can always add hair, right? You can add another line that just goes bigger. If you feel like it needs to go bigger. Go big or go home, as they say. So this ear is annoying me. I'm going to add a little bit of detail. So first of all, just going to do a little like L shape again. I have never really studied ears. I did during the lockdown series when we were doing these, we did draw a few ears, but I always find when I'm drawing ears, I just do kind of random marks and then it tends to look like an ear. Not going to worry too much about it. You can also have some fun with this and draw some piercings, which is one of the joys of drawing an ear. Little piercing there. I was going to get a second piercing for my birthday present to myself, but I never did, but maybe I should. Little second piercing. Anyway, you can add more details to that as you choose. Obviously, we've still got this bit of face to finish, and that can make or break the drawing as well. So ultimately, we want to come out and kind of have a bit of a cheek in it going around. You could also have hair just flailing in the face, but I'm going to give it a go to kind of draw the line like that. Kind of a nice round look. And then maybe I'll bring the hair all the way down so I don't have to worry about how to do the ends of the hair, which you could easily do, I'm sure. So it's looking pretty basic, but looking kind of cute, I think. I'm going to add a few more details. So I'm going to add the nose definition here, just a little C mark there. Could also add a little nostril, just literally a little line like that. I'll bring it up. Tiny little line for the nostril. Don't need to do that, but I think it looks quite nice. Still looks like kind of scary alien vibes with the eyes because there's no pupil in there yet. So I'm going to add that. Just a thick black C shape in the eye. And immediately it brings the drawing to life. Eyes are so important, but they're quite straightforward. You see, big black, thick C shape, leaving that little glint, and then you can paint the rest of it or even draw kind of some lines in to whatever colour iris that you want. Then you can also add, sorry, that was a bit of a lip smacking start, sorry. So add some eyelashes. Don't know why I'm apologising for the way I function. Part of the Britishness in me, just apologise if in doubt. Lovely eyelashes like that. Could also add a eyelid kind of fold like that. That could also be turned into a bit of makeup going on. You could add a lower suggestion of lashes if you want to go real feminine. You could also add a little lip. This is risky now, Ness. What are you doing? But it depends on how big your gap is here, but I think that kind of looks weird. Does it look like a lip? I'm not sure. I'm going to make it look like a lip though. There we go. But you see what I mean? See what I mean about today? Really taking your own like way you can think about someone and be drawing their characteristics. Give it to them as a birthday card next time it's their birthday. I'm going to add some movement in the hair, and I'm really going to play with this wavy design I've got going on, and think about how the hair would fall. But again, I don't really want to be thinking too much today, so I think that's going to do. Add a little bit there and a little bit there, but whatever, you catch my drift. And then obviously there's the arm. So this is like the shoulder. I'm doing the action, obviously you can't see me. The shoulder and someone looking over their shoulder. So this could be like a bare arm, and you could do some kind of tattoos. It could be, you could draw a sleeve, a short sleeve. It could just be a jumper. You could have a design on it. I think I'm going to draw a sleeve, like a tight t-shirt sleeve, and then a little hem. I love my little hem drawings like this because it just tiny little details, really straightforward. You're just doing literally just little lines, but already you can kind of tell that it looks like clothing. And because it is clothing, of course, there'll be creases in the top there, and maybe a couple of lines like this to just bring it to life. And then this is going to be her arm. A few little bits and bobs, you know, skin. Could also do a tattoo or something, maybe like a little suggestion of a tattoo. Maybe I'll draw like a word, but just the bottom bit of it. And you can write in the comments what you think the word is. This is just sprung into my mind right now. There you go. I'll show you a little close up, shall I? Maybe I'll colour it in. What word is that? And then obviously you have the background as well. So I'm kind of enjoying this wavy background or wavy situation we've got going on. So I might do a cloud. A little fluffy, really basic. Clouds are really hit or miss for me. Sometimes they look great and sometimes they look really bad. So there's one there, and then another little one coming out from her, and then I'll do another one. Oh, it's tricky now. I've made this tricky for myself because one here would be good, but then it's going to be too symmetrical with this. So I need to add it either lower, but then you're not really going to see it, or higher, but is that going to look weird? I think it needs to be lower. I think it's going to have to come out of her head. Or am I overthinking it? Potentially. Out of her head and off the page. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm going to do another little one down here too. Let's just keep with the cloud situation. So she's sitting outside now. There's a bit of a story. Sitting outside, her mate's lying down. She's looking at them or looking over them. And that's the perspective of somebody sitting lower than her. I like it. I think it's cute. Can add some kind of strands because she's not perfect, as no one is. Maybe her hair's billowing in the wind a little bit. Okay, maybe I regret doing that, but it's fine. And then again, just playing around. Is there anything else that I could do? Maybe I'll just keep it like this for now and start with the painting because it is quite cute actually. It's like a little illustration of part of a story. Okay, so now I am going to paint. I actually have a couple of new sets with me because I have got, I realised that I haven't rejigged my watercolours for my workshops for ages, so I invested in a couple of new sets because I also wanted to try out some new types that I haven't used before. So I've got the Bosner, for those of you in Germany, the Bosner watercolour set and the Lucas one, neither of which I've tried. Remember last time I was talking about how some pans are like put into little plastic cases. Well, that's what these ones are. I've got more of this on my Instagram. I'm going to put it up, a little story. And then these ones have been poured. So this is the Bosner one and this is the Lucas one. I've tried them both a tiny little bit and they're both actually really good. Obviously I have my loving palette and I'm not going anywhere near that green this time. But yeah, it's quite interesting. So I'm going to start with the background this time. Because I want to do a classic blue, and because I know my colours I'm just going to stick with these ones rather than playing around with those. I really like using this blue because it always dries with funny little marks. It's never just flat and straightforward. It's always blooming, creating watermarks and all of this lovely stuff that watercolour can do. Winsor & Newton ultramarine and indigo mixture. Because it's not the same for every brand, you know, because I was playing around with those ones, and as we know that my Winsor violet is very violent. There was a purple in one of these sets, it must have been the Bosner one, and I put it next to a wet blue and the wet blue infiltrated the purple, which would never happen with these guys. We've already seen it last week when I showed you how the purple just barged everything else out the way and the blue just kind of sits in comparison, but not with those ones. So it must be different pigments, slightly different composition. And that's why it is proving my advice of get to know your own personal palette, whatever watercolour set you have, because the colours will behave differently depending on what palette you have. It's nice, and now I'm safe to paint the skin because there's a whole barrier of this hair in the way between the sky and the skin bit. So I'll get my clean water. I've been doing a lot of painting this week, which has been good. I've been very busy, which is really fun. Too much water. I have to tap it off, unfortunately, lose all that colour, but otherwise it's going to be drowning and making weird patterns. So I'm literally lifting out water now, water and colour. So I've really not thought about how I'm painting this face, and it's probably going to end up really blotchy because of that wild application. So I'm going to go even more wild and really work out into the hair to try and prevent the weird drying that's inevitably going to come. See here, it's like I can see under the eye there, and now on the forehead. Again, I'm just kind of playing around here, going back, lifting colour. Because yeah, if you lift off, then you usually get like this big load of pigment that is left on the page from your brush, so it's quite good to lift that out. And this skin is looking kind of patchy, but not too bad. I'm happy with that. I'm going to go back in and add rosy cheeks, but I can't do that yet. That's another thing I've learned, is you've got to be patient with that, because otherwise you get red marks going all over up into the forehead, making them look like they're ill. So I'm going to go into the clouds now, and although I kind of like the kind of graphic style of the just plain white, I am going to add a tiny little bit, that's off the camera, a little bit of purple. Got a muddy purple going on here with a bit of pink in it, really. Tap it off a bit and just give, can you even see that? Yeah. Give the clouds a little bit of something. Really not got much on my brush. I mean, it's not like a reflection of the sky, because obviously there's no purple in the sky, but it just kind of makes them not flat and gives them a bit of oomph. Thinking about other colours, I quite like the summer day kind of natural feeling of this. I'm thinking like I want to do her hair kind of auburny colour. So like this kind of browny but more reddy brown, because that could look really nice with the blue. And then her top could be nice as like a sage green. Oh no, we're not using green, are we? Maybe I'll try a different green from one of these sets. Shall we risk it? Because this one is still, I can see it. I need to like put something on top of it. Because this business set has got quite an interesting olive green. That could look quite nice. Let's try it. I'll give you a little review of this set as well. The problem with this set is this bit moves around, which is quite annoying. But I'm used to my own palette and not pan watercolour, so other sets probably do that too. Looks safe enough for the camera. It does actually look like that. It's quite a nice kind of bogey green, actually. A very sophisticated colour. Say these Bosner watercolours are pretty nice. This colour is quite transparent, but maybe that's just the way it is. Like I feel like I need to dip back in to it quite a lot to get any kind of coverage. And like, I know I'm painting quite erratically. Here, let's add a little bit more water onto the pan. But it doesn't look that even when you apply it. It's kind of streaky, but again, that's probably in the pigment. I'll have a little look in a sec what pigment this colour is, because it says on the back of the box, before I throw away the box forever and never know what colours are there. Maybe I should hold on to the box. Very nice. This is the box, Bösner Aquarellfarbe, 14 pans or half pans. And that colour is olive green. Oh, it doesn't say the pigment. Okay, well fine. But it says it's half transparent. If you can see the little box here, the little square, when it's completely black, it means it's opaque. When it's completely, well, there's no complete white, it means it's the most transparent. When it's half-half, it's kind of half-half, and then when it's got a little line like that, if you can see it, maybe not, it means it's on the transparent side. See, this is the colour I wanted. Do you know what I've done again? I haven't done the cheeks, so I'm going to avoid the face, just use up this colour. I do it every time. I paint the dark hair and then I go in to paint the cheek, and then the dark hair penetrates into the face. And I tell you about it every time too. And yeah, every time I forget. But this is quite nice. I want it to be maybe more red. So I've got, I think it's maybe Indian red on my palette there. I can't remember now. Kind of nice browny red. Bring it down here. I'll go and just get one layer on this side. This is quite a well-behaved colour. Just kind of sits wherever I place it. Okay, I'm just going to avoid the face like I said. Wash off my brush a little bit. This is just a reflection from the light, because again I'm trying to get my lighting right. Tell me what you think about the lighting. Is it getting better? Okay, and then I'm going to, oh no, I've made it really red. Ness. Now I've made this red, and now it's like too much. Oh well, I'm just going to have very rosy cheeks, I think, because I have no patience today. So just tap that in, and then I can even drag it out into the hair a little bit, because we're going on the red hair train anyway. And then this bit, oof, angle-wise, I might have to turn her, because this cheek is going to disappear. Like that, can you see? So there's no shine. See, this little nugget here is going to try and dry, but I'm dragging it up into the hair, getting a kind of cleaner, non-wet brush and lifting out that little discrepancy. And now I'm in dangerous territory, going back in before it's dry, but then, you know, we only live once, so let's just mess it up a bit, because I'm like thinking, oh yeah, actually blush kind of comes up the cheek, doesn't it? Ness, what are you doing? This is gonna dry really patchy and bad. Don't do this. This is very naughty. You will ruin your painting if you do what I just did. But whatevs. Live and learn, innit? Right, and going back to my brown, not giving this a chance to dry at all, which is very naughty, but I can work down here for now while it dries. I'm going to be a little bit careful, because that is going to still be wet, so I'm just going to avoid the direct area. Go over some of the bits that have dried to add a little bit more depth. And go from there. That's kind of dry-ish. Oh, I actually think this is a really nice little... Excuse me, that was my phone. I put it on Do Not Disturb and yet it continues to vibrate and disturb me. What's the point? Just saying, I think this is a really nice little illustration actually. Very cute. And if you wanted to, you could like copy and paste this composition and paint your mates. Got the little reflection there, but without that. I'm gonna, obviously I did the little lips, so I'm gonna just add a little bit of colour there. Now I'm gonna use my tiny little brush that I bought. Where is it? It's so small I can't even see it. This little guy that I bought the other day, finally, because I was like, yeah, sometimes I suppose having a little brush is quite useful. I'm just going to paint the jewellery kind of gold, even though I am more of a silver jewellery person in general, but here I think the gold looks nice, and I think I'm going to leave it there for today because it's gone on quite a long time. But if I would continue, I would add more layers to the hair to give it a little bit more like of a real feel. I say that and I'm going to just quickly do it. Maybe I'll speed this bit up. Okay, all right, we will leave it there for now. So I'll just give you a quick look. You can look at the details of her face. And her tattoo. And there we have our lovely drawing. I'm further away today, aren't I? So let me put it forward. Maybe you can see the light. Can't see me anymore, but you can see the lovely drawing that we've done. I like it a lot. I think it's really cute, and for such a simple template. Oh, that's quite nice. I could just hide behind it. For such a simple template, it is quite successful, I'd say. Obviously, you have probably done a completely different drawing based on my direction, but I love that. Did you do a border? Did you do a squiggly one? I think that I'm going to start doing this more because it really frames the picture, and I love the kind of simple colour palette as well, and the fact that you don't have to actually draw a whole face, because it is hard to get all the proportions right and everything without it looking a bit weird. So by having this big shoulder in the foreground, totally takes away all of the stress of that. And I really enjoyed playing with my new paints as well. And yeah, I think it was a success. I do feel a little bit energized from that. So I hope that you do too. I hope that you enjoyed your session today, and we will be back next week. Thank you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.